God's heart for the helpless is evident from the very beginning of humanity's history. It is the essence of God's character. It is the very hope of our story. The salvation history begins in the book of Exodus. God saw his oppressed people in Egypt and orchestrated this great saving event, this great exodus of tens of thousands of people saved up from the heavy hand of the Egyptians. And in the covenant that God makes with his people afterwards, he paints a picture of what their commitment to him is to look like. Justice is being in right relationship with God and with people. This is God's vision for order in the world. To love God and to identify with God was to pursue the things of his heart. From Isaiah to Amos to Micah, over and over, the prophets repeatedly called to account the people of God on the issue of justice. Through the prophets, God said some pretty harsh things about the way the people were living out the terms of the covenant. All of their celebrations, their music, their sacrifices done for God were rejected by him because he wanted so much more than just the external. Their worship wasn't acceptable because of their indifference and inaction in pursuing justice. Before all the other external things, God's request through Amos is to let justice roll on like a river, righteousness like a never-failing stream. Another version says it this way: I want to see a mighty flood of justice, an endless river of righteous living. The people had missed the point. They'd missed God's heart. God's heart was beautifully revealed through the life of Jesus. His compassion defined him. He spent time with the forgotten, the marginalized, those who needed love, freedom, a voice, those who were powerless to help themselves. He was the doctor for the sick, the cure for pain, and he left us with those same commands: to love God with all our hearts and to love our neighbor, to live in right relationship with humanity, as he did. And he left this work of the kingdom in the hands of his followers. We are to be the salt and light of the earth. We're given this great task of bringing God's kingdom of justice, peace, and unconditional love into every corner of the earth, into the fabric of our everyday lives, and into every place that is in need of it. And as people who have this great commission, who love Christ with all our hearts, we must be people of our word, men and women whose faith is demonstrated by our deeds, as the book of James encourages us. The call of Christ is an individual call. Each one of us should be ready to surrender everything and follow. And yet, one of the great blessings of this journey is that we are not alone. This thing wasn't meant to be lived out without community or without help. In fact, I don't think it's possible. We're the body of Christ. When we work together and have God as our guide and our source of strength, we can do something. There's no limit to what God can do with a body of believers with willing hands and feet, minds and voices, servants of a better master, living according to a new kingdom. We live in a world of injustice, of oppression, of inequality. It's a world of pain. And our world needs to know God's heart of compassion and justice. So whether it's in your neighborhood, somewhere in North America, in North Korea, or anywhere, live out God's heart wherever you find yourself and wherever he may call you.